This week's bonus episode of the Dietary podcast is brought to you by you, the patrons. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for sending your questions. We have we've actually mic'd Nev up. Nev, are you there?
I'm here, yep.
Oh my goodness, we're loving it. So, thank you very much, everybody, that sent in questions. As you know, we haven't done a bonus one in a while. We just did a guest on. We had Talal Jamar on, so we're going to put that episode out. But this is for you, our patrons. So thank you to everybody who is still there. I know a lot of people aren't, but for everybody that's stuck with us, thank you very much. Apologies for the gap in a couple of weeks there, but that was not my fault. Isn't that right, Nev?
I was on holidays, yeah, sorry.
Nev was on holidays, toasting his tits. Didn't even send me a fucking postcard. Nothing. Not even a bottle of rum or a pack of fucking Lambert Butler Breach or nothing. Like, you know what I mean? You're not very nice to me, Nev.
Still too expensive.
I'm worth every penny. Right, so thank you very much for all the questions and all your comments. So we're going to start off. And just so Nev doesn't feel left out, we're going to get Nev read the questions. So, Nev, first up.
Okay, first up, we have, how have you been, sir? Much crack with the pair of you.
Well, the pair of you, as in me and Nev.
Or me and Mick. Or you and Mick.
Probably me and Mick. But we'll go with me and Nev. So, Nev, Nev, where did you go on holidays, actually?
I was in Spain there, so it was.
All right, okay. Right.
I was in Madrid, and then I travelled to Huesca, and then I went to Barcelona for 3 nights.
All right, stop fucking showing off. So
yeah.
Plenty of money about the Nev household. But anyway, so if you don't know Nev, you should go and see him play in the Cool Hand String Band.
Please do.
Please go up and watch him and torture him and ask for...
We don't play Grace.
Oh, you don't play Grace?
No, we don't play Grace.
But do you do Karate Kid 3 Hit? The Glory of Love?
Maybe.
That's good. Put it in your repertoire. Right, apart from the crack of me and Mick, well, I was speaking to, when I say I was speaking to him, we had a phone call last week. Mickey would maybe, the way to describe it best would be worse for wear. He may not have been completely sober. I know that's a shock to all our listeners. But yeah, he's doing all right. He's doing good. We finally have a date for his return. Ooh. He definitely is coming back at the end of May. Maybe earlier, but he says definitely the end. So the flight has been booked. He's here for the boxing, obviously. We are going to do... So you're going to get the exclusive now. So our 200th episode is coming up this summer. And we're planning to do it live. And we would like to do it for our patrons only, because you have been so good to us, so thank you very much for that. So we will be in touch in the next week or two with details on that.
Have we a date for that?
We don't have a date for it yet. We have a proposed date, but the problem is our proposed date was kind of fucked up when Nev went in 2 weeks holidays, because then the 200th episode becomes later, further along. But that's only Nev's problem. We will get you dates for that, I hope. So next up.
Yeah, next up, has Mickey got lost in Oz?
So the problem is, and this is where the difficulty is, yes, he's in Australia, but when he was first there, he was in Perth with his beloved, who had internet and Zoom and all the rest. So that's why those first 2 or 3 episodes came along, was possible. Then he moved to, don't quote me on the order, but he went to basically Adelaide, Sydney and Melbourne. Some of them, like I think he was in Adelaide for 3 weeks, Sydney for 2, Melbourne for 4. So he's been away from Perth for a while, so he has no access to his camera or podcast equipment. So that's why we haven't been able to do an episode back for you. But no, he hasn't got lost. I do. Well, again, I'm not going to quote him because he was drunk, but he sounded like a man that was more than ready to come home.
Yeah, homesick.
A bit homesick, a bit
missing his yums.
Misses Yums, definitely. He misses my sweaty bosom. But I think I think it's been a long stay for him, and he's only ever really done maybe 5-6 weeks before. So he definitely is at the point of like, I'm ready to come home. Mm. So I don't know if that means he's coming home for a couple of months, going away again. Your guess is as good as mine. So I haven't the fucking clue. But he's not lost. He's still still drinking, so he's nothing much has changed. But no, he's I think he had a good time at the Melbourne. I think Adelaide, according to Mickey, he'll be able to regale us all with his tales when he comes back. But I think Adelaide was a bit of a ghost town, and he wasn't really enjoying it. But I think he's been having a whale of a time in Melbourne at the Fringe, because obviously there's comedians from all over there. I think Now, I do believe him and Tom Stade, Jojo Sutherland, and those people went to a zoo one day, so that's going to be fucking interesting to find out. I did see videos of them throwing axes as well,
Seen that.
which, yeah, I hope he was doing sober, but no, Mickey, probably not. So yeah, as if we didn't have enough difficulty with Mickey and thinking he was a master of weapons, mainly his own weapon, but the nunchucks and the katana is now been added to by an axe. So if he, if we know Mickey, and we do, there will be axes bought when he gets home, or he'll be carrying them through fucking
Duty free.
duty free axe. It just comes with the handle, nothing else. So yes, he will be back. He will be. He's training. He's in. I don't know if you can call it a training camp, but he's currently training for the boxing. Like everybody is, and apart from me, but he's definitely gearing up for the fight. So that should be good. That should be good fun. But yeah, he's due back at the end of May. We'll the day he comes home, well, the next day we'll be doing fucking episodes. So yeah, he will be back. But thank you for everybody who suffered through me for this length of time. Very much appreciated. And he's got a lot of fucking making up to do, let me tell you.
Yeah. 4 episodes a week.
At least. Right, next up.
Okay, we got Jesus lads, it's been a while. Straight in, no kissing. Connor, how far do you think the American illegal alien regime will go before America kicks off in protests? Hope you and Nev are doing rightly.
Nev's doing rightly.
I'm doing rightly, thank you.
Lovely white lines that he has all over his body and all there, where he's been toasting everything. No, fucking hell, Jesus, I think that's a just rabbit non question, that one. I don't know. I mean, yeah. It's very strange. I think there's a global issue with borders, in that they're all open. Which I don't know if that's an issue. Is it really? One human race and all that crack. I think maybe we're more advanced. I don't know. I don't know if we are advanced anymore to look beyond borders. But yeah, it does seem to be very strange. Especially when you see videos of hundreds, if not thousands, walking across the border, and yet we know of people. You think of what Aaron McCann's had to go through to get a visa and to get in legally. The two don't make any sense. So it makes me think maybe are we being fed some videos that maybe aren't 100% true.
Is that a working visa or is he an American citizen now?
Working visa, yeah. So I think he got the 3-year one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's he's going now in the start of May, I think. But yeah, so the difference between the two, and he had a long, lengthy process, and he had to do everything, obviously above board and all the rest. And then you see videos of just guys just walking across the border. So I don't know which one. I can only know for sure the McCann story because I don't know the story of the other one. But I do see a lot of videos of people walking across what looks like a border, but then what does a border look like? I mean, to be honest with you, I see videos of people walking across a river. That river could be in fucking Chile, for all I know. You know what I mean? We don't know if those videos actually are real, of the real location, nor do we know if they're not AI. Because fucking, I've seen some recent AI videos, and I'm like, holy fuck, we can trust nothing anymore. So I don't know. I think there will be. Did you see the new movie released last week called Civil War?
I haven't watched it yet, though.
I haven't watched it either, but I've seen it, and I was like, you've actually released a movie called Civil War. It's like, talk about the fucking Mockingbird. It does feel like there's going to be some sort of coming together of, I suppose you could call it left or right. I don't know what you would want to call it, but yeah. They always predictive programming, and he was like, has this seen Civil War? And I was like, holy fuck, they actually called the movie Civil War. So, I don't know if it's going to blow up or not, obviously, because I'm fucking in the middle of Tyrone. But yeah, it looks like, if you were to go by what it looks like it's pretty grim. But again, can't trust everything you see.
What's up? Next up, we have, having just finished the full back catalogue of the pods, bravo lads. He has a lot of time in his hands. With Mickey's return on the cards, will there be a homecoming live pod? Like the cracking leaving party he had in December.
Yes.
Also, well done, Mr. Keys, on keeping the pod alive while Mickey is off, gallivanting around the world. Some job emceeing the Glunoan last month.
Oh, right. Oh, fuck him, man, yeah. Yeah, it was great fun at the Glenrowan actually. It's a great wee venue. We yeah, I was emceeing it, so it was good crack. But it's what are you laughing at?
The next question.
Oh, is that right? Right, okay. We'll stay with this one then. Yeah, thank you very much for the people that came to Glenrowan. But yeah, this has been, myself and Nev have kept this going, and thank you to all our guests that have come along. But yeah, like I said earlier, we are talking about a live show, and we are going to treat it as like a homecoming for him. That's if Paddy McDonald hasn't beat the fuck out of him by then, but we'll see.
Live audience show or live
Audience
studio?
show. Yeah, we're
Live
thinking of doing. We're actually looking. Well, we're looking at either Mandela again or maybe into Limelight, but we'll let you know what the story is. We have to finalise dates. But yeah, we're definitely going to do a live one during the summer, and then back for Christmas time again. Hopefully.
So
I'm worried about this next question.
the next question I thought is a very valid question. Who picks up guide dog shit?
That's an old. That I know that's. I can't remember which comedian did that, but somebody did that many moons ago.
That's brilliant.
It's unbelievable. I remember when I first heard it, thinking, "Fuck, I never thought about that." But it was. It's more prevalent today because back when I think it might have been Frank Skinner or somebody back in the day, but picking up dog shit wasn't the norm.
Yeah.
Whereas today, obviously, it's very, very actually frowned upon if you don't. So I don't actually know. Right. So a blind person would know if a dog stops, because a dog doesn't shite and walk, so it has to stop. But then does the blind person have to listen for piss or shit, or does he have to smell for it?
Does he have to get down the ground?
Genuinely, do you know what I mean? Like,
how
does
maybe they take him for a shit before they go?
So sorry, I'd never thought of this before. But how does a blind person know that when a dog stops, it's doing number one or number two? Is it you listen for the pee and you smell for the poo?
I don't know. Maybe the dog gives him a wee bump on the left leg if it's a shit and the right leg if it's poo.
You know what? There probably is something like that because they are so well trained. They probably have some sort of signal to let people know. But I had never thought of that before until more recent thing of how do you decide which one they've done? And then, as you say, are you on your hands and knees trying to sniff to find it? I don't.
Putting your arms out, the big fucking shite all of your arms.
That's what I mean. When you reach out, or even worse, you reach out, you find a turd, you put it in the bag, you dump it, but then somebody else realizes that wasn't the dog's turd, it was somebody else's.
Some other dog's turd?
Yeah. Okay, so nothing but the best hard-hitting questions here on Tech Chair and Yums.
Yep.
But very, very good question, actually, yeah.
Next up we have, can we get some more podcasts, please?
Okay.
So, that's
Job
that.
done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, as I say, there was a gap there because of holidays and stuff. But yeah, we should be back to every week now from now on until the running. And then when Mickey comes home, it's going to be a fucking blitz because we have 6 months of stories and drunken stories and hangovers to catch up on. So we could be doing 4 episodes a week. But we will be leading up to
Content.
Content.
Yep. Next up, we have, great to see you're back on. What's your dirty food secret? I used to work as a chef. However, fry bentos pie. Love it.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of that.
Have you not? Frey bentos, I think it is.
Frey.
They call it fry, maybe, but it's Frey bentos. I would have been known to tackle an old Frey bentos myself, my time there.
Yeah.
Have you never had one? No.
No, I've never heard of it, to be honest.
My granda would have been mad about them. So they're like, you would have seen them. They're like in a tin.
Oh.
They're like a pie in a tin.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you put the tin.
How do you cook it in the microwave? Just
no, you oven job because it's cooks in the tin.
right.
No, I mean I'm talking fucking. I don't know. To be honest with you, I didn't even know they still existed. It was like 20 years ago now, or maybe longer for the last seen one.
I'm only 37, like so.
Yeah.
I'm the same age as Mickey.
Yeah, but how have you never seen a Frey bent? Oh, see, that's right, middle class.
Yeah.
So,
Told you.
yeah, it's only the working class way to Frey bent off, you know what I mean? There was steak and kidney, I think, is one, and there was something else. I can remember. Yeah, I can remember them being well used in my granddad's house because he was in the army. he was in the Territorial Army or something fucking. He would have got rations,
Yeah.
and so there would have been like tins, but there was no labels on them,
Right.
so you didn't know what the fuck you were opening. So you were going for dinner, and you didn't know if you were going to open a tin of chicken curry or a tin of peaches. You just didn't know. And so I always said that the Frey Bentos thing for him was a memory of opening all those tins all the time, that he had to have this. But he was like, no, I just love the taste of it.
That would solve a lot of arguments for dinner.
Just, yeah, lucky
Yeah.
dip.
Whatever. Put
Whatever
two
comes
tins
out,
out,
yeah.
and whatever you get.
There you go. There's peas and onions. But yeah, it was it's a delicacy. Let's just say a working class delicacy was a Frey Bentos pie. It was like a fucking treat. But I don't know. Again, I've never seen one in recent years, so I must go looking to see if they still exist. Obviously, they do. If the guy's saying about it.
Yeah.
I am very guilty of pot noodle.
Do you? Haven't had pot noodle in ages.
The chicken and mushroom or the beef and tomato. They're my two go-tos. Like.
Are you like the pasta and sauce kind of person?
No,
No.
not really a pasta sauce.
Chicken and mushroom one?
Just yeah, if it's there and somebody was eating it, you know, whatever. But no, I like the pot noodle for the handiness and all the rest. But then I found recently, another instant noodle type thing. It's kind of like a ramen.
Yeah. I think I know what you're on about, yeah.
Do you know what I'm on about?
Yeah.
They're like, you get beef or chicken or vegetable. There's like that's like a foreign name, so I don't know what it is. But they're a big bowl.
You get them Lidl? Or
No,
Lidl?
I got them in a catering place, but maybe you do get them Lidl, like, but fucking unreal.
There's
So-
plenty of them out there at the minute, so.
And they're very what would you call it? They're lighter than a pot noodle in that sense. Like
Yeah, the fat content and all that.
yeah, but then you could drink the fucking sauce and all that. So I'm a recent convert to that. Now the pot noodle is taking a back step there. But again, when I don't want to sound like I eat a pot noodle every day or something. Like it was just once a month or something if it was in a rush. But yeah, the ramen stuff. I've tried to make ramen. Have you ever tried to make it?
No, wouldn't be my.
It's a hard fucking thing to make because the broth is so important. But the
wife's pretty picky, you see. So
Right.
I do the cooking,
Right, okay, yeah.
so it's hard to get her into that kind of stuff.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
You know.
I can understand if, like, I have a daughter who's like that. And, like, for fuck's sake. So, I don't do all the cooking. Me and my wife do both. But when I'm cooking, I'm a very non-spud dinner cooker. So, my wife does all the spud dinners. And then I would do the bolognese, lasagna, chili, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to try the ramen end of things. But I don't know if I could survive if my wife was fussy.
Is she adventurous then?
She would, apart from fish and seafood.
Yeah. My wife hates fish. Hates it.
There's so many in this country. I think we have to be one of the only nation of islanders who aren't into fish.
Yeah.
You go to Hawaii or go to them places, they're fucking fish mad.
Even over in Spain when I was there, all the
Yeah.
restaurants were pretty much selling
All
fish.
fish, and we don't. And I'd love somebody to do a study on this or where this came about from, because I firmly believe, because my wife's the same, right? This is how fucked up my wife is, just in general.
All right.
She hates fish, won't try seafood, won't try shellfish, because she's very selfish. And fuck off, Mickey's not here. So but her favorite her favorite dinner was something her granny made years ago, which was spuds and tuna
Right.
with white sauce and salad cream.
Right.
Disgusting, fucking rotten in my eyes, but it's a nostalgia thing for her. But in my head, I'm like, so you'll eat tuna,
Yeah.
which tastes the fishiest of all fish, but you won't try actual fish.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's something to do with, and I don't know if you had this in your house, my granny would have done a lot, is the smoked fish.
All right. I thought you were going to say the bones. People are scared of the
So
bones.
the smoked fish, which would have had the bones in it as well, but the smoked fish and the smell of it. So you know that the house reeked for fucking days of the smoked, because it's really, it's like neon yellow fish,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I think people have been really put off by older generations making that for them when they're younger. Because nobody was making them salmon or cod, you know what I mean? It was like it was always cheap.
Cheapest fish,
Whatever
yeah.
the cheap thing you could get. So I think that's the only thing I cannot fathom why an island is not full of seafood and like obviously you go to West Coast and then Galway, they're all into it. Like, but it should be a nation full of fish people.
Yeah, because they don't have too far to go. Like.
Yeah, but unless it's fish and chips or fish fingers, nah. I don't like salmon. It's very fishy.
Salmon's an acquired taste, I think. Sometimes if you get good salmon, it's lovely.
But I do again think it's tinned salmon that has put people off real salmon. The two of them aren't. Just like tuna is not like the real tuna.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, there's no comparison. But yeah, so people won't even try it. So that's a weird one. But yeah, the fish thing is a strange one for me now. It's,
do you like sweet corn in your tuna?
yeah, don't mind it. Yeah,
I hate it.
I'm gonna do sweet corn and tuna, peppers and tuna. Do you ever do cut up bell peppers and
Red onion tuna.
Tuna and onions a bit too far now. If Mickey was here now, if Mickey was here now, he'd be broken.
Be heaving with it.
Oh, heaving. Especially if I mentioned egg and onion.
And I love coleslaw, by the way.
So do I. I fucking love it.
I don't know how he doesn't like it.
I love every version of it, whether it's like slaw or whether it's coleslaw or
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just a weird cunt. It's alright.
Thank God he's not here.
Me and Nev's gonna fucking devour a big bowl of coleslaw now after this is over.
Good cheer. Okay, next up, great to see you back. Opinions on Dulce or Dulce?
Oh, Dulce, okay.
Dulce. Yeah. My wife loves it, and I'm convinced she's lying.
I think
You'll have to explain that one to me.
I think it's a kind of seaweed, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so. Dulce. Is it DULSE?
DULSE.
Yeah, I think. You're gonna have to check out now if
Is it
you've
like
got.
keel or something?
That's what I mean. It's like a keel. It's like a type of seaweed or something. I think Dulce is something.
Yeah, organic seaweed.
Oh, okay. I've never tried it, to be honest with you. I've only. I was going to say the only seaweed I've had is in the Chinese, the crispy seaweed, but it's not seaweed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what it's like. So I wonder, is this like a...
Supposedly, like the seaweed farmers are making an absolute fortune off
Right.
the coast there.
Oh, yeah.
They just farm it at obviously on the ocean there.
But
and-
is it... so, yeah, I mean, I've never tried it. I've never had it, but I
'cause
take
they're,
it...
they're selling it for, I don't know what that was, like £5 a pack or something.
Jesus Christ.
£4 a pack.
Holy fuck. So I don't know. I mean, is it used mainly in a salad or something? I don't know. Fuck what way you cook it. Is it like cabbage? You boil it or something? I don't know. So if your wife loves it, I mean, there must be some sort of recipe she uses. Let us know what the recipe is, and maybe we'll give it a go.
Maybe it's an aphrodisiac or something, yeah.
Aha, maybe she's trying to get you into the sack. Good man, Nev. I like the way you're thinking there.
Oh, God, Okay, next up, I know you're not boxing, but if you could, who would you like to fight, and do you think you could win?
Oh. I would fight anybody. I don't think I would beat anybody. Yeah, I've been training with Ruby for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
So when it comes to avoiding slaps and punches, I am pretty good. My reflexes are a lot better than you'd think for the size of me.
You're a better dodger than a
Better dodger
puncher?
than an attacker. Yeah, my defense will be unreal. I did like we've had this conversation before and we've talked about it multiple times. Mickey gives me a lot of stick about it. I would have to obviously go by weight. I know obviously this when you look at the lineup of this one, sometimes weight doesn't come into it, and I'm like, well, if that was the case, I'll fight Johnny Bow.
Yeah.
I'll fight somebody real skinny, just as bad as. But because I think is it who's fighting? Yeah, Sean McAlevy's fighting Pete Giffen, which I thought is crazy because Giffen had to fight Sean Haggerty last year, which there was a weight difference. But this time, like even Sean McAlevy's, I think lighter than Haggerty, so it's going to be a weird one. I said before it will probably have to be. I would have liked to fought Geddes until I seen his training videos. I would, rather not fight Geddes. But have you seen them?
No, is he impressive, is he?
Fuck me, that. Well, I always knew he was going to be impressive because the man's very athletic and agile and way more athletic than he should be for the size of him.
Yeah.
So when you've got that, because he would have done jiu-jitsu and all that sort of stuff, so he has that background of being, I'm going to say he's not uber fit, but he's fitter than fucking most people his size. But then I seen the video of him hitting pads, and fuck me, pink.
Yeah.
I would not like to be on the receiving end of one of those fucking haymakers.
Who's he fighting?
Ronan Boyle.
Oh, he was on there not so long ago.
So Boyle has experience of fighting. Maybe I think his last time he fought was 15 years ago or something. But he has maybe, I don't know, he'll tell you a number 10 or 12 maybe fights that he fought in, MMA sort of
Right.
kind of things. So he has a fight experience which Geddes doesn't have. That's the
Yeah.
difference, and I know from when I was younger doing boxing.
He's been hit. He knows what
Yeah.
it feels like.
Yeah, even doing pads and stuff is nothing like getting a punch in the fucking nose
Yeah.
directly on. So, and a punch with meaning. Because again, sparring can be a bit lighter, but when somebody fucking wants to have a go at you and hit you. So I think that's going to be a really good fight. But I would have fought Geddes. I would have fought Kieran Bartlett. I think actually, me and Kieran I said me and Kieran should do sumo for the crack. Just the two of us trying to get us out of the ring. It would be a wild crack just to push the fucking shade out of each other. I said I would fight Dave. I'm trying to think of the bigger comedians. Actually, me and Talal might have been a decent match. Talal was originally supposed to fight Geddes.
Right.
And then that changed. I don't know what happened. Pearl Talal was hoisted out of it. But yeah, he was, he had started training and everything. So I don't know what the fuck happened there or how. Maybe there was a mix up in communication. I don't know. But Geddes and Boyle, Mickey and Paddy, and Sean, Haggerty, and Shane, I think to me are the three big fights in the night. And when I say big fights, I mean maybe the three closest fights of the night.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You never know what's going to happen. But I don't think. Let me see. I definitely would have beat Kieran. I know I could beat Kieran. I definitely wouldn't have beat Geddes, and I definitely wouldn't beat Boyle. Me and Dave, maybe I might give Dave a run for his money. But yeah, I don't know. And again, the more I thought about it, and the more the wife and I talked about it, it's just the gamble of me being in a leg brace for 4 months again.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Nah, not with our current circumstances with Ruby. If we didn't have the Karen element,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a couple of months off work. It would have been great. But no, I remember, and as much as I feel like I'm missing out, which I do sometimes feel like I'm missing out, because the other benefit to it is there's motivation to get fitter
Fit.
and lose a bit of weight. So that's the other thing, to be motivated that way. But I just have to keep reminding myself of what it was like. Like my knee went when Ruby was 1. And that was difficult to deal with when she was a 1 year or whatever.
What were you doing?
I walked down 2 steps in a bar.
Full?
Drinking, but not full. I just was heading to the toilet and just walked down 2 steps, and whatever way my foot hit the second step, just bang, down. And
How did you get you up?
I swear to God, when I think about it to this day, somewhere in Ireland, we were in Carrick on Shannon. So somewhere on this island, there is a man who witnessed a fat man literally collapse in front of him and look up at him and beg him for his seat. Trying to imagine that, right? You think about it. I fell in the heap. The whole bar was like, look at shit, man. And I can't get up.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're drunk or you've been drinking and you're, I was all like tipsy, like, yeah, everything's good. And as soon as it happened, stone cold sober.
Sobered up by.
Fucking instantly, the pain of it, I was like, what the fuck? And I remember looking up at this guy, and I'll never forget the look on his face, as if to say, fuck away off, fat man. But I remember looking up going, please give me your seat. The place is fucking stopped. There's no seats anywhere else. I was like, please give me your seat. And he looked at me, going, what? I was like, please, man, something's happened. I can't get up. I need to get sitting down. And in fairness to him, he gave me a seat, not for long, right enough. But so yeah, I went outside. Didn't know what had happened. I knew something wasn't right. I was limping, and I got outside, and the shock of it all, the adrenaline and the knee was just a wee bit weird. I was down for my brother's 21st birthday, so I was one of the older people. I was 31. Yeah. I was 10 years older than him. And so all his mates were all obviously partying like fuck. And, we'd only got there. I wasn't even that long there. But I knew the bus wasn't leaving till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it was only for the one night?
One night. So I had to wait. So I went outside, and the pub would remind you of, Sally's in John Street in Oma, where there's a wee window ledge at the front, and the doors are right there. I had to sit in the window ledge. And I thought, oh, fuck, something's happened, but I don't know what it is. And I was like, as I said, stone cold sober. And I remember thinking, right, it's fucking freezing because it was October. And I'm going to have to find the bus. I'll never forget it. I remember getting up off the windowsill to go walk in the bus and collapsing in a heap on the ground, and 4 bouncers standing over me, right, looking down at me, and I'm pleading with them, going, "I know what this looks like, but I'm not drunk." And they're like, "Yeah, we've fucking seen you." And I'm like, "No, no, no." I
Yeah.
was like, "Something's happened to my leg. Can you help me up?" And they helped me up. Which again, there's probably CCV footage somewhere. Right? When they helped me up, I then decided to go and try and find the bus. And there's buses fucking everywhere in Carrick and Shannon. So trying to find
Yeah.
your bus is a nightmare. And started pissing down. Do you know, one of those moments you're like, what the fuck else could happen? And
You might as well just walk out in front of
may
them.
as well just fucking just yeah, try and walk home or something. I found then I couldn't get in anywhere, and there was a hotel in the middle of Carrick and Shannon, and I walked up to the door, and the night porter came to the door, and I said to him, I said, "Listen," and he started going, "No, no, no, no," and I was like, "Oh, please, please, listen to me. Something has happened to my leg. I'm really, really sore. I need to sit down somewhere out of the rain. Can I sit in the foyer?" And he was having none of it. No chance. No, 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 no. I was like, I'm genuinely, look at me. I'm not drunk. I'm genuine. And just as he was about to let me in, one of my fucking younger brother's mates, who was a fucking mess, like, do you know, he'd been put out of the nightclubs,
Yeah. I was wondering where the rest of them was.
an absolute mess, came around the corner just as your man was about to let me in there and going, "Yes, Geezy, yeah!" And your man shut the door and locked, and I was like, "You fucking wanker." And then I was stuck with him then for like an hour and a half, and I was like, "Get me the ways from this fucking dickhead." Eventually then some some bus driver from Carlow let me on his bus just to get in out of the rain and sit on this until eventually he drove me up and round till I found our bus
Right.
and found it and I got in.
Fair play
So
to him.
yes, so that was, and then even then, do you know when we get home and all, do you know the worst thing was? I got on the bus, right? It was one of those party buses, you know, and everybody's like facing each other.
Yeah.
You know, instead of rows of seats, they're all facing each other. And there's me, and every person come on, "Yes, lad!" Slap me in the fucking leg every time they come on. I was like, Jesus Christ almighty. So yeah, I just knew something wasn't right, and then the next day, absolutely mortified because I couldn't get home. They dropped us off in Oma, and I was like, I can't walk home. I have to try and get a taxi here.
It was like 4 o'clock in the morning or something.
4:30, and you know you're not getting a fucking taxi at that time. So
You don't get a taxi at 10 o'clock.
no, so I eventually got home, but even the next day, I couldn't lift my leg, as in I couldn't do that. I couldn't move it. But so even getting in the car, I had to like use my arm to lift the leg in. And the wife's looking at me, and I was like, something's not fucking right. I mean, I should be able to lift my leg. Something's not the thing. So anyway, turned out it was the cruciate ligament, and yeah,
That was it.
that was it.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than, like I said about the boxing, if you try and think about, should I do it? The one memory that I have that completely makes me go, fucking no chance you're doing it, is trying to shite with a leg brace.
How long ago was this?
He's 30, so it'll have been 2011,
Was that 13 years
13
ago?
years ago. And I feel like a fucking pensioner sometimes when the cold weather's coming in.
Yeah.
My knee lets me know. So it's still a weakness there, and I'm still very insecure about it. That's why I don't even do five-sided football. I used to do indoor football just for a bit of exercise.
You just scared?
I'm scared now at this stage, and then I've let it go so far
Yeah.
that I don't think the knee is strong enough. I don't think the physio was kept up at the time. I didn't do a great job of trying to keep it right. So, yeah, so that was the fear, and I always remember having to sit on the size of me, sitting on a toilet with a leg brace, and it completely
Straight out.
and so just try and imagine that yourself, never mind being big, and then how the fuck do you wipe your hole? Nightmare. So that was the reason why I am just a ring announcer. But I am going to be there, so I will be announcing. I'll be doing the Bruce Buffer, I hope, and I'll be involved. But yeah, I don't know if it's fighting. But if I was fighting, I think me and Dave would have a good run. Actually, Talal probably would give me a good run for a run. He's been training well, but yeah, I would avoid Geddes and Boyle. I'd batter Mickey.
Of course.
Absolutely. And I'd batter Paddy McDonald too. So they're the two I would have fought, but I didn't want to, I wouldn't be fair on them. Like, I would have fucking bit lumps in them. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So Well, Connor, when can we expect another JRO in the future or another best of the best?
Oh, all right. Well, best of the best. We've done 2 in 2 weeks there, which was more than we'd done the previous 13 months. So fucking behave yourselves. Jesus Christ, don't be ahead of yourself. In regards to just rabbiting on, here's my thing. So let me know. I hold off and just rabbiting on because I don't know if people want to hear it. And that's the truth. I don't know if enough things have happened for people to want to hear. So if there is, if there is interest in it, I can do it because I could do it from the shed of truth. I don't really need to come in the studio, and
Oh, you don't need me.
I don't need you.
No.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Because that is an organising, getting around your schedule and whatever. So, whereas a shed of truth, I can do it any night. But it's just, you gotta. I don't know if there's an interest there. Maybe.
I think by the comments there is.
Okay. We'll see. We might do one this week then.
I'll get him to it. Okay, we got already, gents. Mickey ain't here to make it filthy. Let's see how this goes. Ever sat off the toilet after a battle with Satan's waterfall to feel a heart radiate, to feel a heat radiate from the bowl? Lava, I tell you. Thanks, gents. Also, Nevin, speak up. Well, I've got a mic now.
You
so
got a
I
mic
can't
now.
speak
There's
up.
no excuses. No need to speak up. Okay.
I don't think I've ever felt heat. Maybe shame.
Shame, maybe. Yeah.
No, but not heat.
I have felt heat now after. What was the last time where do you know what it was? Something very like KFC hot wings. Remember eating them one time, right? And
They're not that hot.
they're not
though.
that hot.
No.
But do you see what happened the next day? I don't know if they decided just to wait until I came out of my hole before the chili would kick in.
What did you eat with the hot wings?
No, just a
Just the
regular,
hot wings, yeah.
It was the only spicy thing I had. I remember that feeling going, the only spicy thing I had was fucking KFCs, and they weren't that spicy, but I mean, you talk about ring sting, I was fucking crying.
Yeah.
Since I was last talking to these, I went and got a colonoscopy
Very good.
because, what the fuck else would you be doing on the Tuesday?
What was it like?
Well, so, I forgot I haven't told you this. Correct?
Take us through.
So that's what made me think about it was the toilet scenario. So when was it? It was the weekend of the comedians darts. I was doing the darts, and so 3 days before you go for a colonoscopy, you have to completely stop taking anything with color. So. Like people and
I was gonna say.
no, you can't have anything of color, like especially nothing red. You can't have anything dark, so like Coke or Guinness or so everything had to be clear. So like you could take water or lemonade or for some reason black tea was okay, but I didn't figure that out because I was like, that's fucking color too. But anyway,
Is that like beige food? As in like Weetabix and
yeah.
chicken?
So you had no. It was even it had to be white food. So pancakes, rice. What was the other things that was allowed?
Spuds?
Pancakes, rice. No spuds. They gave me a list of things I know you could have, which was fucking shit because I couldn't eat the things I wanted. At the comedian's darts, I couldn't even have a zero beer because they were coloured. And I was like, oh fuck, so I'm drinking water or fucking lemonade. So the night, that's for 3 days before the procedure. The night before, fuck me. This is when we're talking about the toilet scenario. So they give you this solution you have to drink.
Like a dye?
No, I've done the dye before. The dye, I had to get that done. Remember for the initial thing of diverticulitis, I had to get the dye done to find out what the issue was. This was to make sure it was just diverticulitis, not more. But the solution that they give you for the dye, it kind of reminds you of like a strong Robinson's, that
Yeah.
barley, fucking, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was like not easy to drink, but manageable. This other stuff was, I mean, and like the worst of it is they put flavour in it, like so. It's like first one was tropical flavour,
Right.
and I mean, no joke, man. I had to fucking have a pint of normal water, and then this, and I was every mouthful I was trying to wash it down with that. To the point, my wife the other day took out tropical fruit Tropicana juice, and the smell of it fucking reminded me of it. So you had to take that the night before, and then you had to take another one the next day, which is like a mango flavor.
Was it any better?
Nope. the worst thing I've ever tried to get down ever. But
Why did they flavour it then?
to help it go down, it's that bad of a taste
Without it?
Without it, yeah. Now, all I can say to you is if you're ever going to go through this and you have to go through this, make sure you make no plans. Make sure you are about 4 feet from your toilet at all times for about 3 hours. Do you know the scene in Dumb and Dumber when fucking Jeff Daniels is in the toilet, right? That was me for 4 hours.
Yeah.
To the point I got to like hour 3 and I was like, there couldn't be anything else in there.
At least your toilet flushed.
Fuck me. I've never experienced it before, or hopefully never, touch wood, never experienced since. But I mean, I read out. There couldn't be anything fucking left of me.
The only time I experienced that was coming home from oxygen.
I've had that before. No, I've had that before. That's nothing, man. That is nothing compared to this. Like, I've had an oxygen before where somebody's turned on like a broken tap and it's just leaking out of you. This was a fucking power washer. And every time it was like, am I pissing? Like, it was so loud of water. Yeah. So sorry for the graphic description, but that's what it is. And then go through all that. And then the next morning you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and drink again to go through and make sure you're finally read out. And that, again, I get so confused because how am I drinking liquid and pissing out of my arse? I didn't need to pee. I just needed to piss this out of my hole, which is exactly what I was doing. I don't know how that works, because surely I should have been taking liquid in and peeing. Yeah. But no, it was going the other way. So that's why this stuff is obviously very special and what it needs to be done. But they warned me that if you didn't do the prep right, like if I hadn't followed all them steps, which a lot of people apparently don't do, when they get in there and do the shove up, they're like, we can't do this, you have to come back.
It's blocked?
It's not just blocked, it's just that it's not cleared out.
Can't see nothing?
It's just, no, or there's, I got what they were talking about. I'll explain when I get to the process. I knew what they were talking about when I was in the middle of the procedure.
All right.
Right? Because, so anyway, so I go in, this is the thing, right? This is the other problem with doing comedy, is sometimes people know you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the nurse calls me in. And here's the thing, when you're doing this for a while, I don't get the level that like Geddes would get, or Shane, or Paddy, or even Mickey. You know, I don't get that level, but I get enough people that know me, especially locally, that know. And I'm starting to realize the people that recognize me versus people that, you know, don't, obviously. So the nurse called me in. I knew instantly by the way she called my name, oh, she knows who I am.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why. I don't know what it is. It's like a sixth sense. But I don't.
She call you Yums?
Yums.
Yes.
So I went in and sat down. And again, you just know from the way somebody's talking to you that they know whatever. So you have 2 choices. This is way more detail. But anyway, when you're going for colonoscopy, you have 2 choices. You can get conscious sedation, which is you're awake and all the rest, but you're completely numb down there. But the conscious sedation bit means you can't drive home. You need somebody to drive you home. Right. And you can't do anything for 24 hours. Now, the next morning, I was going to Amsterdam.
You picked a good time,
with the lads. Well, I just thought, fucking, let's clear it out properly before I stick some random thing up at Amsterdam. Yeah. So, so I had that. So then the nurse said, the other option is gas and air, which is what they would give, obviously, if somebody going through labour or, you know. So I said, listen, I'm going to have to do the gas and air because I'm going to Amsterdam tomorrow. I can't. And she's like, oh, what's on Amsterdam? I saw a friend of mine is doing a comedy show and we're going over. And she goes, I knew you were a comedian. And then I was like, I fucking knew. She goes, no, I thought that. She goes, I thought I recognised the name. I was like, oh. But how professional they were, they never mentioned it until I mentioned it, sort of thing. Yeah. So that was all right. I had to do the usual fucking... You wouldn't have this problem now, but anybody else is out there that maybe of a heftier value would know that 1 robe isn't enough. So they had to put 2 robes on.
How degrading.
I've actually done this on stage before. My first learning of this was when I was going for a vasectomy, when they doubled up on me. So this time I wasn't as shocked as I was the first time. And then you're taken into a room. Now here's the thing: you're going for a colonoscopy. You know what I mean? And obviously it's your hole, it's your arse, and you know, let's just say I've never looked down there. You know, I've never looked to see if the pathway was clear. You know, I don't know what the wilding is like. I don't know if there's wildflowers growing down there. I don't know what's going on.
You had no prep.
I mean, I scrub like fuck, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't know how it's going to work. Thankfully, anyway, it's a very obviously personal procedure. It's embarrassing, obviously. Not as embarrassing as when you walk in, or no, when you're wheeled in to the room, or the operating room, or whatever you call it, the procedure room, and there's 6 women,
Oh, Jesus.
right? Now, I shouldn't judge. I shouldn't have. But it's just, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking going to be so. I can't believe I had to
Would have been
sit
better
here.
if there were 6 men there.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, personally, I wouldn't have. Because men are dirty. You know what I mean? Men know. Men know what the crack is, you know. But that's not. These women are obviously very fucking professional and they know what they're doing. But it's just the thought of it. They're going in there. I was like, oh. So, the worst one then. So, you're in the fetal position. The fucking moon is shining out that way, right? And you have a woman here, or a nurse here at my head, and she's sort of managing the gas and air and keeping you right and all okay. You've got, I'm going to say the head, like I don't know, the woman doing the procedure apparently is the best.
The head bombardier.
I didn't want to say it there. But
Yeah.
I left it hanging there. But
I reckon you didn't think of it. You didn't think of it.
And so I was told by the woman who initially was doing the pre-check, I don't know what her name was. Let's say it's Margaret, right?
Usually is.
She was like, oh, Margaret you're lucky you got Margaret today. She's the best. Everybody says she's the best. I was like, okay. So then Margaret appears and I'm like, apparently you're the best. And she says, well, I'm all right. And so the woman, the nurse, I keep saying girl, the woman, the nurse standing beside her, stand beside Margaret goes, I seen you in Strabane last week. And I was like, oh, no. And I was like, well, you're definitely going to see a different side to me tonight than you seen last week. So that was all right. So then they did the whole thing. Now, I have to say, because I asked one of my, I asked a friend of mine who's gay. I was like, listen, I've never had anything shoved up there.
Mm-hmm.
What am I in for? You know what I mean? You just don't know. You don't know what the fuck.
Exactly, yeah.
And he was like, you be grand, lad. You be grand.
You sure you said it like that?
And you know what? I fucking was grand. It was, the initial fucking,
Yeah.
Jesus. It broke me out instantly in a sweat. My forehead, like instant sweat. Even though I was like, sucking this gas in the air. And fair play to the nurse who was at my head. Like, I realised then why she was at my head. She had like a cool towel to put on me. And I was like, because the sweat was beating me. And typical fucking, I don't know, comedians do this. Maybe everybody does this. But trying to come up with funny stuff just to deflect away from the fact that this doll's got her tool up my hole. And I was like, you know what? I think they turned this 50-inch plasma TV around
Oh, Jesus.
for me to see, right? And I don't know if you've ever seen have you ever seen your colon?
No.
No. So it's like circles upon circles, right? And the more she would move it, the colon would move in and out. But there was music playing in the background,
Right.
and it looked like my colon was singing the tune.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Probably
going
was.
along with it.
Was it the Blues Brothers by any chance?
So I says there, I was like, it looks like my ass is fucking singing there. That was fun. And I was like, I think you might find a ham sandwich up there from the 90s. Just letting you know, I don't know where it went to.
Or chewing gum? You swallowed chewing gum?
Cat's guts, and I used to call it. And so I was joking about that, and I was like, fucking, you never know, you might find Madeleine McCann up there. So as I was trying to keep it light as I could, but sucking, I've never sucked on anything as fucking hard as I sucked on that gas in there. I didn't find it doing any
Did it
benefit
hurt?
to me. I wouldn't say hurt. It was just uncomfortable.
You just knew something was inside you? Like?
It was, uncomfortable and weird. Now, there was parts of it where I thought, Jesus, Jesus, the boys might have it right. Especially on the way out. I was like, oh, fuck, that's all right. So I'm not saying I'm converted. I'm just more open to it now.
Yeah. Think about it.
My virginity is now gone, thanks to Margaret. But yeah, so apparently everything was good. My prep work was very good, I was told. So thankfully. And then when you see your colon up on the screen, you could, because obviously the colour of blood in your body, you could see why there was no red stuff allowed to be eaten, and had to be clear because they have to see everything. And so yes, all of that to let you know my hole's fine.
Good stuff. That's what I like to hear.
But by fuck, I was read out. Boy, I was read out. And then I went to Amsterdam the next day, and I was like, I am fucking going to, because I couldn't eat for 3 days properly. Fuck, I did some eating in Amsterdam. Just food.
Right. So next up, would you settle one of the biggest debates of the generation? Custard creams or bourbons? Glad to see the boys. Glad to see the pod back.
What's your first choice?
Has to be custard creams.
I am custard man myself. I'm custard cream, but I do like an old bourbon.
I hate bourbon.
Oh, do you hate them?
Oh, I don't like them
Oh,
at
you see,
all.
I'm kind of torn between the two. I like the both.
No, it's nothing on a custard cream.
There's nothing better than going to a meeting. Like I go to meetings an awful lot, and there's wee packets of biscuits. Some genius has invented 2 bourbons, 2 custard creams in one pack. Magnifique. Unreal. Fucking deadly.
Would you take one each or 2 of them?
What are you opening the packet for to leave it fucking... it'd be rude to leave the biscuits behind. So yeah, I'm in between on that, but you just hate... Like, why do you hate... Like, they're chocolate.
I don't know. It's the chocolate. You see, I don't like chocolate ice cream or anything like that there.
Oh,
but
right, okay. I know people like that too. It's
I do like an old chocolate digestive.
Right?
But it's all chocolate, if you know what I mean.
All right. You like to have a wee bit of a breakaway there?
Like half and half.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Big time.
Interesting. But no, we don't buy bourbon creams in my house. We buy custard creams, in fairness, because the rest of the family aren't really a bourbon fans. But no, I have to say.
But if you were to pick, what would you pick? Custard?
Oh, you know what? It would be easier to pick which child I like most. Right, I'm going with custard creams. I'm going with them. Because, yeah.
Custard creams it is then. Okay, next
Only all the hard-hitting topics here in Deck Chair
You're right. Any chance of a weekly JRO? Sure, no harm and a smoke and a chat shade for half an hour a week.
There you are. Okay, so that's another answer. We'll have to look into that, yes.
Another one. And we have another JRO thing. Well, guys, loving the crack. We, the people, would formally request that there be any chance of a bi-weekly JRO, if and where possible.
Okay, bi-weekly. That's we're negotiating here. Went from weekly to bi-weekly.
It's doable.
It is doable. Yeah, I genuinely, if I thought, I don't know, maybe send a message into the Patreon to say which is the best. Do I just do it without asking for questions? Because sometimes I like, just rabbiting on. If you're listening to it and you've listened to it, it's obviously about like the geopolitics, which means the entire fucking globe. So if I was to just go on, I mean, I could go on for fucking hours. So maybe it is better to have questions to keep it shaped. Maybe, I don't know. What do you prefer? Do you prefer me just release an episode, or would you prefer to ask questions? Either way, we will do more episodes, or I'll do more episodes for that. Yeah, definitely.
That's it for the questions.
Okay, happy days. So thank you very much, everybody, for sending in the questions. We will be back next week with another guest. Mickey will be back in about 5 or 6 weeks' time. But I genuinely mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, everybody that has stuck with us and stuck by us. It's really much appreciated. We will try and finalise those dates. But like I say, we're going to make sure it's patrons only. We don't want the freeloaders, to be honest with you. Yeah, fuck it, they get enough for free. So we will, and it won't be as expensive as Christmas time because we won't have the band to pay and stuff. So it'll be a lot more reasonable. But thank you very much to everybody on Patreon, and I will be in touch soon with the Just Rabbit and on, I hope. Thank you. Good night.